All right, we're going to take a quick look at managing the content on your website, more or less managing it in bulk, so that you don't have to navigate through each page to find which one you'd like to edit or modify or delete. Anyways, if you go to the content, this will bring you to the content overview page where you can see a listing of everything, giving you the title, what the type is, whether it's a basic page or an article, article being may or may not being a blog, an event, or a base page. You can see who the author is, and you can click on to go view the author. You can also see the status, whether it's published or unpublished. Published meaning available for public view, and not published meaning for administrative view only until it's been changed to published, and the last time it was updated, and then you can edit and delete directly from here. You can also see that you have the ability to manage and filter everything from the top here. You can filter it by, you want to see all the not published content and not published of the photo galleries, and then filter it. This is especially handy when you have large amounts of content to deal with, and be able to find it relatively easily by filtering it all this way. And then you can also bulk update certain objects by even hitting the select all, or selecting a few that you'd like to manage. You can republish the content, you can unpublish all the content, you can promote to the front page. Promoting to the front page means it's going to end up perhaps in your recent blog section of your front page, if it's been enabled for that, or if you have a product website, you want to push the products to the front page where you have a products view. And if you take a look, you can demote them from the front page in bulk. Making the content sticky. Sticky content would be if you wanted to sit it at the top of lists. So say, for example, you have all your blogs on the home page listed by most recent, yet you wrote a blog post 6 months ago that got bumped to the bottom of the list, but you feel that's super important. You can make it sticky, and it will sit at the top of those lists on the home page. You can also delete in bulk. It also will give you kind of a second option after you hit delete, ask you if you really like to do that, just to make sure, because once you do delete it, it is gone from the system. And then update the URL alias. Updating the URL alias, as you can see, this is an alias over here. If we hover, let's just go to perhaps one of these pages so you can get an idea of kind of how the alias works. Updating the alias, this is the blog title here, and you can see that it's also made that way in the aliases and available in the alias. So if you wanted to update the alias, your system is set to automatically update the alias when you change the title, but if for some reason it hasn't and you need it to be updated, you can click that to update the URL alias and click update to do that. You can also begin to filter as the page you're looking at, filter by title, descending and ascending, and by the type and who what the status is and the updated date. So it gives you a good idea of how to manage your content kind of in bulk instead of having to navigate through each one of the individual pages. You can also see here that you can manage comments. Comments will be covered in a different tutorial. Take a look for that. You can also see content that you have scheduled to be published and unpublished on certain dates. Currently there's nothing scheduled, but when you're adding a content, you have the option, I'll show you here, that when you're, say, a basic page, and you created a page that you didn't want to be published till a later date, you can see that in the publishing options here that you can start and end it on a certain date, and that then will get listed here on when there's scheduled publishing and unpublishing. And then finally, web forms, which is also covered in a different tutorial. The web forms, of course, being the generic one-way contact forms, or maybe a survey that you've created and that sort of thing. So this is where you'd see all the submissions, and this is covered in a different tutorial. So just heading back over here to content, the ability to edit directly in here will take you to the page, and when you click save, it'll actually return you back to this page, which is a nice handy feature to bring you all the way back so you don't have to navigate back to the content area. Anyways, thanks